Heartlings, HeartGamer26 here, and I am back with a brand new episode of AutoCraft. Yes, we are back. If you saw the last episode, you know that we ended up building some bridges, and yeah, that's pretty much what was the last episode. This episode, we are going to be finally working on some more of the houses for the residential area of the island, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to jump into a quick time lapse. Well, maybe not so quick, but a time lapse of me building that for you guys. And before we do that, of course, I gotta ask the question of the week, and you might already have an idea what this one's gonna be, since Saturday was Minecraft Live. The question of the week is, what were your thoughts on Minecraft Live? I enjoyed it. I liked some of the stuff that was revealed, like the amusement park looks kind of cool. The Minecraft experience, also looks cool. Too bad it's not anywhere close to me. The nearest one is Chicago. I'm happy we got the release date by the time you're watching this. Or the release date for the Tiny Takeover. By the time you're watching this, it already passed. It was Tuesday. As of right now, I don't know when AutoCraft's going to update to that. If we're going to update, well, we should. I just don't know when. We have a lot of background mods that that help run the server that we gotta wait on updating, so we'll have to see on that. And the big one is we got the name for the next update, which is, spoiler, Chaos Cubed, which I'm excited for. It looks a lot of fun. I was seeing a lot of potential with the Sulfur Cube being amazing for minigames, and I will say the new blocks, the Sulfur and Cinnabar blocks, look amazing, and I wish the Cinnabar blocks were out sooner. You will see that in a future episode. In a future episode, why I wish that happened. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. And without further ado, let's jump into the time lapse. All right, so we are watching a time lapse. I'm going to try something a little bit different. I've done this before where I've talked over time lapses, but this time I'm going to actually do something different where I'm discussing it. So as you can see, we're working right now on what I call the flower patch, and it's similar to what I did over in the central square. Instead of using dark oak, I decided to use mud encased mangrove roots, or muddy mangrove roots, and mangrove roots waterlogged. And yes, I know there was an easier way of doing this. I probably could have had a bunch of buckets and filled it, but I'm kind of low on iron, and I didn't want to waste my iron on a bunch of buckets where I could use it for other stuff in the future. So yeah, it's a lot of back and forth filling or waterlogging the muddy roots. But I found I was kind of playing around with it in creative, and I did find that using waterlogged mangrove roots looks a bit better than the waterlogged dark oak planks. I mean, it looks nice, but I don't know, it feels a little bit more natural and feels more, I don't want to say dirt, but more dirt like. And I found that you'll see in a little bit that the coral that I use actually will stay alive, so that's kind of a nice feature. Yeah, this part took so long. At least it's sped up, but it took so long. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I know there was an easier way I could have done it. I wonder if waterlogging that whole area would have worked and then just placing the things. No, I don't think that would have worked. But yeah, I then finally placed down the coral bits, and as you know, I have decided the coral is going to be the main flowers, because Minecraft, I love Minecraft flowers, but they don't hit the way I want them to do like they do in Animal Crossing. And now we're going to slide on over to the next bit, and I'm kind of doing a little bit something different with my, time lapse here with editing, so let me know what you guys thought about it. But now we're adding the table, and I guess I probably should state what we're building. This is Tia's house, so I actually have finally decided to do also the exterior, unlike I did with Shino, but I got the exterior done. But I was able to finally get not just one, but 3 houses done. Unfortunately, I will not be doing the 3 houses in this episode like I originally wanted. That's why this took so long to get out, or not get out and work on and stuff, because I was trying to get all 3 of them done at once, and I was planning to do like this whole big thing where I did all 3 of the houses together, and it would have looked amazing, but time restraints, and that would be a very long, multiple time lapses in one episode. I felt that wasn't going to work. So now we are on to the next part. We're working on a little bit of the house for Tia, and it did take a little bit for me to come up with an idea for her house, but once I did, it fit very nicely. And I will admit, so you saw me put those quartz pillars down. I will admit I had a brain fart moment while I was grabbing my materials, because I'm like, oh, I forgot to put this down. Why do I have pale oak? Because if you don't know, I do use Lightmatica. It helps me a lot more to get my builds done, and I can wing builds, but it works so much better than using Lightmatica, where I can plan it out, because then I can get the details down that I want, and I can rework it multiple times to make sure it looks right. And so in the Lightmatica thing, it looked like, oh, why do I have pale oak? Because surprising, I think pale oak and pillars look similar looking up, and so oops, there, so, dang it, come on, work with me here. So I ended up getting confused in my own thing, and then I'm like, wait, no, these are the pillars, because I was panicking. I'm like, I got all the materials. I worked so hard to get all the materials. Why is there no pale oak, stripped pale oak? What happened? It was just pillars. But yeah, so I have decided to use a prismarine color scheme and pillars, which actually look really nice. I think I've seen this done before. It kind of gives that, I don't want to say like Greek Atlantean feel, but it gives a really nice feel. And you will see this in future builds, but it's kind of hard getting certain colors and designs to come across from Minecraft to Animal Crossing. You will see in the next episode, Soleil's house. I was struggling with the interior of that, but that's a future thing. But this one, I played around with it, and I decided to go with prismarine. It looked the best. Like, I looked at cyan and other stuff, and I'm like, no. Prismarine is that color that I want, and it looks really nice with the quartz, and the pale oak. Probably kind of one of my favorite color schemes, to be honest. So I really like that. And so with Tia's house, she has kind of more like a cafe interior, and so the windows are kind of like not barred up, but there's like little wooden, like, it's sectioned off in the windows, and I didn't know how to pull that off the way I wanted it to. And I remember trapdoors, or not trapdoors, fence gates, and it surprisingly looked really nicely. And I'm really proud of that idea that I did with the fence gates, and it looked very nice. And as you may notice, I'm not doing the interior yet. I did the windows and I did the flooring, but I decided I wanted to do a separate thing for the flooring or the interior. You will see that later. I kind of did that with Shino's house. It's been a while since we've actually done a actual Animal Crossing house, not just like a building itself, but an Animal Crossing house. But yeah, I really like how it turned out. Now, another problem is the exterior does not match. In Animal Crossing, the exterior does not match up with the interior of it. So like the exterior has like maybe a couple windows, like one on the front, two on the either side, like one on each side. And then on the interior, it's multiple windows. And you'll see this in later builds where I will have like, you kind of saw it a little bit with the Nook's Cranny and Abel's shop, where I have a window on the outside, but you don't see it on the inside, so I had to cover it up. But so I decided to go with the interior windows for Tia's house, and so she has a lot of windows, and honestly I like that. It kind of gives a different definition than to Shino's house, or as you will see later on in future episodes, Soleil's house and Eric's house. But I'm really proud of how that, and now we're moving over again. Again, like I said, I did a little bit something different with the editing this time. And now we're moving on to the upper part where we're going to hit the ceiling, I kind of am keeping the ceiling the same for each house. It's like maybe different colors, but it's essentially the same. So actually we're working on the roof a little bit, the overhang. That one was a little bit of a struggle because Tia actually has a bit of a hump on above her door. The doors are like, doors are so hard to do in the Minecraft from Animal Crossing because it's like you open one door and then you have two, but you can't open both of them at the same time. It's a thing. But she has like this hump, like a curvature, and it's very prominent in the game, but I couldn't get it to be as prominent in here, but I think I pulled it off a little bit. I kind of like using the quartz and the quartz bricks, and which actually took me a long time to get the quartz bricks. I kept running out of quartz, and I'm like, oh, why is it so much quartz? But now we're getting to the ceiling, and I kind of am sticking to something similar for each house where they'll have a ceiling that matches kind of what I'm working with. So like here we have the dark oak. I think Shino had spruce. Little spoiler for Soleil, she's gonna have mangrove, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong. But and then I have the frog lights because they kind of look like, you don't really see the ceilings in Animal Crossing for unless you're like actually working on it. And I just barely got Happy Home Paradise, the DLC on the island. I'm not going to make any changes to the houses yet. I'm still working on the actual DLC first so I can unlock everything. But you don't see the ceiling until you get the DLC where you can play around and start remodeling the houses for the villagers. And so I kind of wanted something similar because technically each house is the same. You get the same size house and kind of same structure. They just have one room. You eventually can add more. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here is like I wanted to keep certain things the same. So you have like the fencing around the same size, the ceiling similar, the door is in the similar place. It's not in this one. I did in a few a few builds, I did bring out the door a little bit, but here it's kind of more flat. And so yeah, now here's the exterior. We're gonna go slide right into the interior where I had a little bit of fun. I remembered like glow lichen exists, so I used that to design the carpet because she had a little bit of a fancy carpet in front of her cooking area. And each one I do is like I always have a smoker and a crafting table to represent that they cook and they craft. And then she did have a sink, so I added the sink. She did have a fridge, so I had to play around with that. Each person has some type of music, and I added some like furnishing. I had a armor stand. I have to put something on it because she has a dress that, or like an outfit she wears. I don't know if it's workout. I don't remember off the top of my head. So I have the armor stand. Eventually I'm going to put clothing on there and a little table and trying to get it to figure out. And of course, you know, like, because I am using Lightmatic, it was yelling at me that I had it in the wrong direction. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll fix it. So I had to fix that. And I like how the interior looks. It's roomy. It's adorable. I like it. And then, you know, add some of the final touches on top of it. The detector rail to add as like a stovetop, an iron door so it looks like a fridge. And the one that I'm kind of proud of is what we're about to work on here. Yeah, I get too close to the camera. I apologize for that. But the banners. I'm really proud of the banners. I like how they look because those are supposed to be the curtains. And I can't get the curtains properly in Minecraft, but I like how they turned out here and I like how they look. I was originally closing the fence gates to help move it, like place them, and then I realized all I have to do is crouch and it worked. So then we move on over to the next part, and pretty much we're just finishing up now, getting all those banners down as the curtains, and we're gonna eventually get to the doors. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the time lapse, and let me know if you like this idea. And we're back. So I hope you guys enjoyed the time lapse. Hope you enjoyed the little bit different. I know I've talked over time lapses before, but this one I decided to kind of explain a little bit of my thought process. I do apologize if it was like really rambly and all over. And also my brain like short-circuited during that ramble, but unfortunately I can't remove it because otherwise it really ruined the rest of the flow. So I guess my brain needed to reboot to continue the flow that I had going. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. But yes, here is the final product. We have Tia's house. So Tia's a little elephant. I love her so much. And yeah, I'm really proud of how this turned out. And as I said, yeah, we have the coral, you know, the lovely flowers. Yeah, we have flowers over there, but these work so much more and kind of add a pop of color. And then using the mud, the muddy mangrove roots, and the mangrove roots waterlogged worked out so well. I know I could have done so much better with the water part, but shh. And I have a little bit of a table. We need to add decor, but that's going to be in a future project with some armor stands. Got another little table here. This is for outdoor music that I want to add eventually. And I know this didn't get shown on the camera, but instead of using the mushroom like I did with Shino, we have a little cherry blossom tree here. I tried to do different things for everybody. Not everyone has a different thing, but some of them do, so you'll see that. But yeah, if we come in here, the lovely doors. But here is the house. You guys saw this. And yeah, I'm going to add some type of outfit. But yeah, I really like the banners. They were a lot simpler than the Nook's Cranny banners, but I like how they kind of give that nice little vibe, because there's white on the exterior, you get the yellow from the interior, and it feels warm. And I don't know, just realizing it now, and I didn't realize it, with how I did it and where the lights are, it looks like it actually is a lot... I wasn't intentionally doing it that way, where obviously the light's hitting up here and it's a little bit darker on the bottom. I wasn't intentionally doing that way. I did it because it looked better. But okay, maybe my mind was subconsciously telling me that's why it looks better. But yeah, I really like how it turned out. Glow lichen as a carpet worked out really well. I did try leaf litter, but it didn't work as well as it does like in the brain does not want to function as Able Sisters. See, my brain likes to short circuit a lot. But yeah, I'm really proud of this space, and I hope you guys really like it. We got 1 out of 3. Like I said in the time lapse, my original plan was to get all 3 of these done, but unfortunately, because of like trying to get this built, the resources, it's not feasible. So next episode, we'll definitely work on Soleil's house, and you'll get to hear my struggles about that if you guys liked me explaining my thought process and some of the stuff while I did a time lapse. Kind of fun. But it will not be next week. Next week, because of my new schedule that I have, if you don't know, I have started up a new series. I have started up One Block Skyblock for the 3rd time. Hopefully the 3rd time's a charm. So that one will take place on Thursdays as well. It'll be every other Thursdays. I'm not uploading on Tuesdays except for when I do a short. But I'm not doing shorts for the 1 block. But so it'll be every other Thursday. Last week was 1 block. This week's AutoCraft. Next week should be 1 block, but I know it's also April Fool's next week. So you might get an April Fool's video instead on Thursday. And if that's the case, then the following week will be 1 block, and then we'll get to here. So it'll be like maybe a couple weeks before we get to the next episode. But it also gives me plenty of time to actually get this done, gather the resources, and get this work done, because it's hard trying to get all the resources. Like I said, the quartz was a pain in the butt trying to get, same with the prismarine. I kept going back and forth, and yeah, so I had to go flying, get the glass, get all this stuff, and yeah, so that's the plan. I hope you guys are okay with it. Well, I'm gonna work on it even if not, but yeah, so I'm pretty happy on how this worked out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought about it, and make sure to answer the question of the week. What are your thoughts on Minecraft Live? And I'll go on a rant about the whole Cinnabar and block coming out in the next episode of AutoCraft when I work on Soleil's house. But yeah, let me know, and let me know if you guys liked where I was talking over the time lapse as I was describing it, instead of just rambling on about whatever. I like that. Kind of gives a little bit of that creative thought process. But anyway, I think that's going to be about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to let your thoughts know. Also, you know, all that fun stuff. And I think that's going to be about it. So until next time, Heartlings, have a good one, and I will see you guys later, and goodbye!